Hey, up me ducks. How's that for timing? I managed to get it right. I had to set a timer on on my phone to know exactly how long the music lasts, how long the clip of us all connected lasts, to make sure that everything. Oh dear. But anyway, how is everybody doing? Let's open the chat. Let's see who we've got in. There's lots of people here already. So first one in was the lovely Marilyn. Yeah, getting ready for the blast, Arctic blast on the way. It's 1 degree at the moment. It's going to get to freezing point around 3 a.m. here in Nottingham anyway. And then I think it's not going to get to minus temperatures this week, unlike last week. Last Saturday, it was -5 and -4 as the day progressed. So, anyway, wrap up warm wherever you are. And then we've got Magnus, nice to see you. And he put some lovely words. He says, "Hello, wonderful Simon. Just wanted you to know that you are a blessing. This channel is like comfort food, a peaceful place full of beautiful souls. Thank you for being you. Love, love, love you," which is really lovely. Always very supportive over the years. Always has very kind words, lots of messages of love, which is what the world needs. But that's always been my intention for the channel, is for it to be a peaceful place and a place where like-minded people can come together, feel safe, and just enjoy hanging out. So, so to get that comment is really lovely. So thank you, Magus. And Marilyn says, totally agree. Simon started my tarot journey last year, and it was a year of beautiful discovery. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you. And then Will is here. Nice to see you. It's put I use Will, so I will use Will. That's great. And Nothing So Strange, who's on a car trip to Williamsburg, Virginia. VA is Virginia, isn't it? Yes, it is. I think it is. Hope everyone is having a lovely weekend. Well, safe travels and have fun wherever you're going and whatever you're doing. And then we've got BSD Junkie. Nice to see you. Don't know what BSD stands for. Perhaps you could tell us. But yeah, Hypnopole is golden. Oh, is this a new channel? Hypnopole 14.99. But welcome. The lovely Holly is here as well. Hello, Holly. I've been tracking your package, and it's been in Nottingham for days, but it's not arrived yet. So hoping not much longer. And we have Elspeth. Nice to see you. Tea with oat milk here. Vintage Moon. Hello. Exponential. Nice to see you. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. Been so busy due to real life. Yeah, real life gets in the way sometimes, doesn't it? Sarah's here. Nordic Tarot. The lovely Kim. Hello, my friend. Lovely to see you. Hope you're doing okay. And the lovely Naomi as well. Two lovely people. Well, the room's full of lovely people. Karina, hello. Raven Morning Glory, hello. We've got Steph and Rebecca and Charlie and Jennifer. English Witch in France, hello. We have Trio of Witches, nice to see you. Emma's here. Sharon, new to the channel, enjoying learning about tarot. Love the deck walkthrough, Simon. Oh, good. Thank you, Sharon. It's lovely to have you here with us. Enjoy. We have Lily Rose. Nice to see you. Susan and Raven Song. Hello. We have Tarot Trouble. Chewy. Paul. I know it said Paul Smith. That's a connection to Nottingham, isn't it? Phil Smith. Nice to see you. Cold here in Spain, but not as cold as you have it, I'd imagine. Yeah. Shaz. Hello. Stella Luna. Tarot Eye Oracle, nice to see you. Star and Flurry, Nance. Just come from Manchester after watching the Nutcracker. Wow, what an experience, Naomi. I always remember when I was a kid, there was a televised version of the Nutcracker. I think it was using like stop motion puppets, but I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I don't know if anybody remembers that. It would have been the 70s, late 70s, maybe early 80s. I can see somebody saying hello to Madwitch, but I can't see my big sis. But Anna May Reed says hello, Simon Madwitch, Spirit of Avalon. I can't see Madwitch or Spirit of Avalon. We've got Tamoya, Lel, Pamela. Don't want to miss anybody. BSD, Berkeley Software Division. I'm a Unix Mac enthusiast as well. Okay. Brilliant. We have Dawn the Prawn. Hello, Dawn. Robin's here. Thanks for joining my live. I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. You might enjoy what's coming up in the next hour or so as well, Robin. Something similar. Perfect Sunday evening with pizza. Sorry, Sunday. I'm reading everything wrong, aren't I? That's before I start. Perfect Saturday evening with pizza and the Hermit's Cave. 68 degrees. Wow. Can you imagine? I'm glad to hear your package has arrived in Nottingham. Yeah. It'll probably be Monday, I would have thought. Love this community. Thank you for the community is amazing, you know, and it's what you put into it is what you get out of it as well. So yeah, but we're a good bunch of souls, and I don't allow any kind of negativity here or in the Facebook group. And I've got a good team of moderators here that keep everybody safe, and in the Facebook group, we've got a good admin team as well that are around the clock. So not all in the UK, because, you know, we need coverage during our night time and vice versa. So I'm really grateful to that support that I get from people. Have I caught up? Have I said hello to everybody? So Tarot E Oracle says, I've been watching Simon for a long time, but today is the first time that I'm on a chat, so I feel quite new here. Oh, well, welcome to a live. There's Sandra. I can see Sandra now saying hello to Dawn and people. And then I read that as Airwolf, again, 70s kid. But Avi Orwolf, nice to see you. Phillips, hello. Forever We're After, did I say hello to you? But I think I've caught up anyway. So welcome. So what drink have I got? Well, I've got some tea today. I've got, I've put the lid on it to keep it hot whilst I was getting ready. I've got straight up Earl Grey, no Earl Grey creme, or it's the Whittards. If you're in the UK, you'll be familiar with Whittards of Chelsea, and this is their Earl Grey. It's in a lovely tin, look, and you take the lid off, which has the Whittards logo, and there's another lid that you have to break the seal on that, but then you pull the lid off. So it's freshly loose leaf tea, nice little canister to keep. And that's what I've got. So I've got Earl Grey, loose black tea with flavouring, the quintessential British blend. Why can't I speak? With flavours of bergamot and beautiful cornflowers. So it is really nice. I've had a couple this week. I bought it, I think, last weekend. May have been 2 weekends ago. But yeah, really nice tea. I'm going to keep the lid on it though to keep it warm, being as it's only 1 degree today. I moved to the Midwest from Texas, where the norm is blazing hot. I went to Texas, but only as far as the airport. It was a stopover, not a stopover. You know, where you have to get a connecting flight. So you just stay at the airport waiting for your connecting flight. And we stepped off the plane, and it was like being suffocated with a hot blanket. I think they said it was 113 degrees. And I was like, oh, God, this is too much. Don't know. Anybody can live here. Vintage Moon, grew up and lived in Indiana for 35 years, but still no winter for me. Virginia, the cold is not so bad yet. So I'm going to finally receive the Cerulean sequence oracle after the Canada Post strike. So long. Yeah, why do I know the name of that deck? Cerulean sequence oracle. Total Tarot. Sorry I missed your live today. I'll watch it later. We need to find you a set of those beads. I'm not sure what beads. Did you, Anna May Reid went to see Nosferatu yesterday. Has anyone seen? I wanted to go and see it, but nobody wants to go and see it with me. So I haven't been. And on the day I was going to go, which was not New Year's Day, the day after the 2nd, just before going back to work, we got a couple of extra days holiday. I ended up in at the last minute changing my mind and going to see Better Man, which was fantastic. But I do want to see Nosferatu. Gives me the chilly winter air any day of the week over that oven climate. Yeah. I read Sandra, I want to see Nosferatu, but I read it as I went to see Nosferatu. I was like, oh, did you? I'm dying to see the new Almodovar movie with Tilda Swinton and Julianne Moore. Oh, I'm not sure what it's called. That's Pedro Almodovar, isn't it? Is it getting good reviews? I think so. From what I heard. I know originally when it was released, it couldn't be shown for like decades because of the copyright. And I'm not quite sure they've got around that now, but clearly they have. It's called The Room Next Door. Oh, I saw the trailer for the Bob Dylan. Even though I've seen Bob Dylan live, I've never really been a huge fan. There's a couple of songs of his I love. I love Lay Lady Lay. I think that's a beautiful song. And I liked Blowing in the Wind. The Answer, My Friend. It is called Blowing in the Wind, isn't it? And a couple of others. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man. There's one other as well that it's gone out of my head. Is it Maggie's Farm? Oh, I don't know. I got loose leaf tea flask so I can take my loose tea out. Oh, wow. That's cool. I used a blendini. Not a blendini, a brewdini, where you make it in a pot and then you put the pot on top of your cup and it all drains through. It's nice and tidy. You don't get tea leaves everywhere with them. BSD said, really looking forward to the Nosferatu as well. Loved Wicked. Oh, I love Wicked. And Demi Moore's horror movie, The Substance. Yeah, I want to see that. There's so many. We got our big cinema that's opposite here, 13 screen cinema, is closing on the 2nd of February. And the news was announced last weekend and was like, oh, such a loss to the city. Really is such a loss. There is a little independent cinema that I like called the Broadway. I really like that, and the seats are really comfortable. But they haven't got a huge capacity. Their theatres are really small, but I still like it for that intimacy. That's where I went to see Better Man. But we had to see Wicked. And they show lots of art house and indie films, as well as world cinema. So they don't always show big kind of blockbuster movies. But then on Wednesday of this week, they announced that it's already been taken over by a company called The View. So So that was good. But I don't know how long it's going to be closed for while they, you know, take over, whether they just automatically take over. I'd imagine they'd want to put their own branding and stuff on it though. Me egg Simon. What? Can you help me egg Simon into wearing the ducky hoodie I gifted him? Egg him? Not quite sure what that means. I did show it. I did show it on a video. You should definitely go and see Nosferatu, Simon, and Spirit of Avalon. I recommend it to everyone. Cool. Yeah. Well, I'll see if it's still on. I could always get tomorrow. I've got the barbers in the morning, but I could go and see it tomorrow. Might have a look later. But I only want to see it in the Broadway. I want comfy seats. James R. Eads. I saw it on your channel by James R. Eads Kickstarter, Blue and White Oracle. Okay. Egging somebody on. All right, egging means to egg him on. You won't go on your own, Sandra? Do you not want to go to cinemas on your own? I quite enjoy going to the cinema on my own. Yeah. Because of my ADD, I used to have an unlimited card, which would be no good now. It's closing. And they used to do a Sunday morning matinee, which I used to love. They used to start anywhere between 10 and past. So I used to get up, go and enjoy the film and come back and start my day. Because of my ADD, it really helps me to focus because there's no distractions. So if I go on my own, the lights go down, it's dark. The only thing really to focus on is the screen. And I do find that when I go with other people, I still enjoy it and I still get the experience, but I'm constantly thinking about the people I'm with and that sort of thing, particularly if they say something. But watching things at home is a real struggle because my phone will ping or something will happen and then my attention is just gone. If I go by myself, I fall asleep. Deluxe seating, yeah. See, there is a cinema outside of the city. It's a drive away. It's not too far. It's on one of the kind of ring roads into the city. And that's got kind of premiere seating, I think they call it. It's a showcase cinema. But I've not been in those premiere seatings for years. I would love to see more movies, but Tourette syndrome does make that difficult, and ADD definitely goes hand in hand. Yeah. Because I'm a dork, had to look up to egg someone derives from an old Norse word for knife. Yikes. Hello all, happy Saturday. Hello, Letty. I like cinema on my own. I get the popcorn to myself. Well, I'm not having popcorn at the minute. Simon, have you ever been to a drive-through theatre? Once. I don't know if the UK has had them. We used to, but don't know if we do anymore. Well, they did in Utah. I went to one. I can't even, for the life of me, remember what it was that I saw. They had to tune their radio in to pick up the sound for it. I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it for the novel experience, but again, sensory overload. There's 4 people in the car, and I was in the back, and I was like trying to get a good view of it. I didn't really enjoy it. We don't have them here unless it's like an event, like they're going to do it as part of a festival or something. What has become more and more popular in recent years is outdoor cinemas. So the Castle in the city have done it a couple of times. They'll get a big screen in and they'll show something, or Woollerton Hall. Sandra, you've been to Woollerton Hall. It's one where it's a deer park as well, and where they filmed Batman Returns, I think. Christian Bale. The one that's got Anne Hathaway in it. It was used for Wayne Manor. They had a big screen there, and I think they showed something like Grease. I think it was Grease. They tend to, when they do that, have like a big kind of cult film that's popular. I went to Bryant Park. We actually have something similar. Bryant Park in the summer, they show a movie on a big screen and people sit on the lawn and picnic. Yeah, exactly that. Exactly the same thing. Well, when I went to Bryant Park, it was crowded because it was a Christmas market and there was an ice rink there, lots of stalls, and it was very sort of, yeah, a lot of people. But it was Bryant Park that I bought this from. That was bought in Bryant Park. I'm just using it as a little pen holder at the minute for my calligraphy pen and my glass pen. And the guy that was selling them was really friendly as well. Hello, Adam. Nice to see you. Holly says, when I was in my teens, I went to the movie theatre alone once, and only once. I was hit on by a perv. Oh, no. That's terrible. That's terrible. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's just, that's awful. It's never happened to me. I think people know they'd get a right hook. I once saw Flesh Gordon. As in, that's not a misspelling. You've seen, oh, I loved Flesh Gordon. It's so inappropriate, but so funny. So funny. I can remember when not DVDs, videos, VHS cassettes became really popular in the early 80s. My dad got one, and we used to go to the only video shop that was around then, because it was, like I said, it was really a new thing. And there was all those kind of cheeky films, like the popsicle films, like Lemon Popsicle and Porky's and Porky's Revenge. And then there was Flesh Gordon. It was kind of not X-rated, where, you know, it would be in a dodgy cinema in Soho, but a little bit more risque than the Carry On films. It was a parody of Flash Gordon, yes. Yeah, it is the one I'm thinking of. I feel so old. Why? What can you remember? I remember parts of it being filmed on the vineyard. Parts of what? Flesh Gordon? Was that what you remember being filmed? Wow, that brings back a lot of memories. I read that as Ohio doesn't exist anymore. I was like, what? What's happened? Jaws. You remember Jaws being filmed? Wow. Jaws was terrifying when that came out. Does anybody remember as well? It's a film. It was filmed in black and white, but it was, I think, very early 80s. Might have been 1980 or even 81. But The Elephant Man. I think John Hurt played the Elephant Man. He played some iconic roles, didn't he? And based on a true story, I went with my dad and my sister, and they wouldn't let me in because I was too young. I was gutted. And back then, my dad said, it'll be on the TV in 5 years. And I just remember as like a 10-year-old thinking, 5 years. Because when you're 10, that's half of your lifetime. John Hurt, yeah. It's still here. I watched one of his last films just today. Isn't that weird? An Englishman in New York, which is the second part. There's like 30, maybe even 40 years. No, 30 years between the two films. So, and it's quite unusual because he did The Naked Civil Servant, which is the life story of Quentin Crisp. And when that film was released in the late 1970s, it just kind of catapulted Quentin Crisp into the limelight. John Hurt played him. But this film is about what happened after the release of the film. So they talk about the film, but it's the same actor who'll say, oh, that film. And what happened was he moved from the UK to New York. And this is the film of his New York days until he passed, which I think was in 1999. I think he'd passed in 1999. But it's a brilliant film. Both are. I love both Naked Civil Servant and An Englishman in New York. But yeah, and if you're familiar with the Police, the group, the Police, Sting as the singer, the song An Englishman in New York is a tribute to Quentin Crisp. It's about Quentin Crisp. John Hurt and his famous Baby and Alien. He did so many films that were iconic. So many characters he played. Incredible actor. Trying to think what else he did. He did The Elephant Man. He did, obviously, Quentin Crisp. He did the Alien films. But there was another one where he dresses up quite... that's John Hurt. Let me have a look. Because it's bugging me. Really iconic films. John Hurt films. Gosh, God, there's hundreds. But I'm trying to think of the ones where Englishman in New York, Gruffalo. That's not what I'm thinking. This guy's career, he's been in hundreds of films. He played Vincent van Gogh, but that wasn't it. Yeah, The Elephant Man, Alien, Naked Civil Servant. Yeah, I can't think. There is another role that he played that was quite iconic. It was in Contact as well. I loved Contact. The one with Jodie Foster. Can't find it now. Never mind. Who's in Harry Potter as well? Anyway, let's go back to the chat. Spending too much time on IMDb. 1980, Big Brother is what? Oh, 1984. Yes, he did. He did. And that was one of his last films. Not John Hurt, Quentin Crisp. It's actually, there's a scene from that in this movie. He goes back to England to do the film where he plays Queen Elizabeth first. and then he comes back to New York for a bit, and then they ask him to come and do a tour, a tour talking in theatres in the UK, and he knows he's going to pass away there. And people are saying, "We don't think you'll die on the plane. You won't be able to. You've got an enlarged heart. You've got this. You've got that." And he just went and did it, and he did. He passed away in his hotel room back in the UK. Matrix. We're all talking about John Hurt now, but why not? He's a great, great actor. Derek Jarman film, yeah. Derek Jarman films are. I've got most Derek Jarman films. My favourite, I think, is Jubilee. Sebastian was good. Blue was a bit of a hard watch, but Jubilee, gosh, I watched that when I was about 14. I was allowed to stay up on a Friday night after my parents went to bed, and Channel 4, which was a really edgy sort of channel back then, showed it, and I watched it, and it got Adamant and Toya Wilcox in it, so I was there. I was there anyway, but I'll always get John Hurd and William Hurt mixed up. Kiss of the Spider Woman, that was a good film too. Caravaggio, that was a Derek Jarman film. Yeah. All right. So what have I got to show you then? So, and I know we're now on the 18th of January, and I've still not opened this from Christmas. But I thought we'd have a look at it together. Now, I'm in two minds about this, because this was, and it was really kind, and I hope they never watch this. I don't think they will. Did you think Toya marrying Robert Frick of King Crimson was an odd pairing at first? But then, I follow them on. They do a Sunday morning broadcast. I follow them on Facebook. They do a live, as I said, every Sunday. I've met Toya. I kissed her on the cheek and told her I loved her. I was very drunk. But they're just magic together. Their chemistry is wonderful. I love the old mill that they live in. Yeah, and she did an album then called Queen of the Crimson Court, which has got one of my favourite Toya songs on it, which is forgot the name of it. Sensational. I wanted to call it Supernova because that's a line from the song, but it's called Sensational. After this live, go to YouTube Music and put in Toya Wilcox Sensational. It's got a brilliant beat, and she sang that live as well as all of her old hits. And it was in a little pub just at the back here. She just walked amongst us singing, and I was like, "This is my idol, my 11, 12, 13-year-old self." Anyway, what should you watch? Jubilee. You should watch Jubilee. So yes, back to where I was. Somebody at work bought me a gift and said to me, "Now, I've got your little Christmas present, and I know you're into tarot, so I hope you haven't got it." And it's an RWS deck. So it made me smile when I did open it. But I'd not come across it before, and it's called AE Tarot. And I've done some research, and this is where I'm like, I hope they're not watching, because it's from China. It doesn't have a barcode. Well, it doesn't have a QR code either, but they've stuck a barcode on it. So I haven't opened it yet, and I was like, oh, I kind of think from the image it's going to be a straight up RWS, and of course those images are in the public domain, so anybody can use them. But I don't know if anybody else has got this. So I've done some research and I did find it on Amazon, and there's different ones. So there's this that you can get on its own. You can get it with a bag for a few pounds more. It wasn't an expensive deck. Or you can get it with some chakra crystals. So anyway, it's called AE Tarot. And I'm going to take the cellophane off because the sticker is covering a lot of the blurb on the back, and it might tell me more about who the creator is and stuff. But I don't know if you saw my video in the week, this deck that I put in a bag, and it's been everywhere with me. This is quite a small deck, but this I'm loving, absolutely loving. And this one is Pixie Pop, where the colours are, and the cardstock is amazing as well. I love the backs, plain black with this, but really gorgeous colours. So I've been working with this, but I don't know whether this is going to be, anything where it's been redrawn or recoloured, or whether it's just a straight up RWS. I can't really tell. That's so sweet. Yeah, and it is. And I was so, so touched by it. And I did message them and said, thank you so much for the lovely gift. No, I don't have it because I don't, whilst I've got RWS decks, I don't have this one. So, so let's see what it says on the back. Toya with a H. Is it Toya or Toya? Yeah, Toya with a H. Oh, thank you, Naomi. In 1891, what? In 1891, A.E. Waite joined the Mystical Society of Golden Dawn. Right. So, gosh, he was there nearly 20 years before, and worked with Miss Smith to design and publish the classic tarot. Well, he might have joined, but that makes it sound like they worked on this deck in 1891, which is incorrect. In 1891, A.E. Waite joined the Mystical Society Golden Dawn and worked with Miss Smith to design and publish the classic tarot. Although there are many tarots with different styles and designs in the world, but you can tell this is lost in translation because the book starts a new paragraph. But the classic tarot illustrations contain mysterious, it's hard to read as well because it's tiny, incorporate myths or biblical stories. This is why the A.E. Waite Tarot, without a T now, bless, is so influential and popular that it has not declined for 100 years. Yeah, so, I mean, it's published in China, but you can see with the spacing, and some of the words are joined together. And then suddenly you've got tarot that's without a T and tarot with a T. But anyway, so product AE Tarot, model number 1891. And it's Dongguan Zizin printing technology. Address room 507, number 8, Jinjiang, First Road, province of China. It's got a telephone number. Okay, so anyway, tuck box. Hello, nice to see you, Kay. How are you? Hope it's not a bootleg deck. And that's the thing. I mean, isn't every RWS now technically a bootleg deck? Because anybody can use the images. I mean, the cardstock appears good because, and there's a book, because that's quite a thick deck. They remind me of the backs of the what were they called? Robin, you'll know. You know the ones with all the brown backs, beige backs. Anyway, this is quite a chunky book, nice cover, so a nice design on the back. Classic Tarot's pictorial key take you into the world of tarot to discover an ancient yet still current divination method. Okay, writing is really small because they're trying to get a lot of information in here, but it's a colour booklet. It does look like it's a straight up RWS. Isn't bootleg stolen copyrighted art? Yes. And usually very poor quality, but the art isn't copyright protected anymore. What did you use the wrong word of? I'm not quite sure. Okay, so let's open them up. And it always intrigues me as to what version they've used. Have they used a 1909, which I don't think they have here? Or is it just they've taken the artwork and changed it that much that you probably wouldn't be able to tell? Cardstock is pretty decent. They do have a sheen. They're not too glossy. That doesn't show the ring, but it shows that there's a shine on them. Again, these are the backs, which are quite nice. They almost look 3D, don't they? Look like the pattern behind is moving. That's really weird. Must be effect of the camera. What was that? I was downloading the public domain images of the 1909 deck recently and was surprised to realise how simple and basic the original images are. We attach so much meaning to them now. Yeah. But that, again, was the intention of the Golden Dawn, wasn't it? To attach lots of esoterical kind of meanings to them. I mean, do you know what? There's no copyright on the covers. It's a straight up RWS, but it's nice cardstock. And for somebody's first deck, I think I don't encourage buying off Amazon, but that's where I saw it when I was researching it. It was $8.99. This is a pretty decent quality when I say decent in terms of quality deck that I wouldn't mind, using and letting it get really bashed up. So I'll show you. They are bordered. They are using Pixie's calligraphy. The line work is it's very sharp actually. Let's get close up. See the fool's face. It's not blotchy. It's quite nice. That seems to have more space. Let's grab the roses and lilies a sec. Hopefully these are all still in order because I use these as references. No, it's right. Does seem to have more. This is the roses and lilies, which is more muted. So you can see the colour and the cleaning. Tilt them a bit, then you'll see them a little bit better. And I'm also going to get the Pame. We'll have a look at the Pame as well. Oh, having a bit of a RWS nerd out here, aren't we? So the Pame one is a bit more saturated in colour, but there is this speckling happening here, which isn't on the one I'm showing now. And it's still a little bit brighter in colour. If you look at the greenery here at the bottom around the roses. Interesting. What's that? I have a deck from this company, white and gold backs. Drawings are from Pixie, but some extra details, beautiful. Left a comment for you once about the deck. Oh, okay. Well, I read everybody's comment, so I must have at the time. If there was a link there as well, I'd have gone and checked it out. Put the Pams back. So that's the Conrad Stain collection, Roses and Lilies, Pam A, Pam B, Pam C, Pam D. I've done walkthroughs of that on the channel. Yes, I have the Pam A and Roses and Lilies. Not much has changed. There's quite a difference, though, isn't there, when you put them side by side, the Pam A and the Roses and Lilies. I can understand why, if they're a really good likeness, which I believe they are from what people who've owned the original decks have said, I can understand why they reprinted it, because I think it was less than 6 months later from the 1909 coming out that printing stopped and the Pam A was released, which was supposed to be a more perfected version. Not quite sure why they changed the backs, though, in that short space from the Roses and Lilies to the Cracklebacks, although I do like the Cracklebacks. But this is quite a nice version. You know, I think if somebody was just getting into tarot and they said to me, oh, I'm thinking of learning the tarot, what would you recommend? I'd probably buy them this for less than £10 for the quality. I just hope it's not a dubious company. And I don't mean by selling this deck, because, like I said, anybody can use these images now. But for the clarity, going the wrong way. For the clarity, look at the face. The clarity and the line work, the nice colours. It's pretty decent. Adam says, I have quite a few straight RWS clones, but my preferred straight up RWS is always Tarot Vintage. I like the oranges and beiges, much more muted than the standard RWS yellows direct from the sun. Yeah, Tarot Vintage is actually really nice. And I do like them, but I miss having the full colours. And have you, Adam, have you had chance to have a look at the box here earlier? Where have I put it now? It's behind you. Have you had a chance yet to look at Pixie Pop? My latest obsession. Somebody left a comment because I did the little clip before the credits, the opening sequence, title sequence, about could this be my new favorite RWS clone? And somebody in the comments quoted that and put, say Simon every time he opens a new RWS deck. And I thought, well, they're not wrong. MA says, I have a US Games Universal Weight, which is the bright one many don't favour. Is that the one that's done by Mary Hansen? But since I've trimmed titles and borders edged and used for so long, it's dirty and scuffed in a delightful way. I love it when that happens. I was on about the other day when I filmed the walkthrough of Pixie Pop, I mentioned Kim, our lovely Kim, Moon Whisper Kim, showed me when I was in New York her carry round deck, and it was the Radiant US Games Radiant Tarot, and she trimmed it and edged it, and it was used. It looked really used, and I thought that's really cool. And that's kind of what I'm hoping will happen with this, that it gets a little bit battered and gets, with the more usage that it has. Golden says, I wanted to contact the sellers about the beautiful deck and could not do it through Amazon. Managed to trace the company as being owned by Alibaba. The book is quite good. That's cool. I would like the Roses and Lilies deck. Yeah, I think they're still on NPC. I know NPC shipping can be, and NPC isn't great to navigate. We had that conversation in Robin's live earlier. Simon, you convinced me to get Pixie Pop. Oh, is it available again? I had to get it from a store in Europe, which was this company, Taro Putti. I think that's how you say it. Because on Gillian C. Wilde's website, it wasn't available. But the bright colours on the RWS are my favourite. Nostalgia for the decks I played with in the 80s. That's the thing, is it? That's why the 1JJ Swiss will always... Oh, I'll finish what I'm saying before I show you this travesty. The 1JJ Swiss will always have a place in my heart because it was my first deck in 1987. And then when you look at those images again, it's like finding your old children's book in the attic and you see those images and they just take you back. Look at that for misalignment. But it's an $8.99 deck. You know, it's £9. And I haven't seen that in all cards yet. Love this deck. Do you have a link? No, it was just I would just type in AE Tarot, and this is the box you'll be looking for. And as I said, they come with different sets. I have seen that Pixie one mentioned in the past from people, but I need to watch your latest video on it. It's fell under my radar. It's not one I'd heard of at all until I saw Deanne from Blue Crescent Tarot show it on a live, and I was like, oh, I like those colours. They're lovely. It's a smaller deck. The idea is it's not a pocket-sized deck, but it's smaller, and it's billed as, you know, for all hand sizes. I get that, Simon. I feel the same a lot on my original RWS decks. I've got a straight up RWS that I love called Pam's Recolored Tarot. That's more tanned colourings. I love this one as well. I think you have it, Simon. Pam's Recolored. Don't think I've got that one. Unless I'm really losing track of what decks I've got. See, this card is really nice, actually, because obviously a black background, but those colours, it's not showing up so much on the camera, but as I looked at it then, they're really, really nice, bold, vivid colours against the black background. But yeah, the line work is really nice. There was that one so far, kind of misaligned cards, but you know, that makes the deck a little bit more unique. I've got a hoi polloi that talk about misalignments. Most of the cards are I've got a soft spot for the original RWS. Tarot something about the backs of that cardstock. I think we all have a soft spot, don't we? Have had to get a Pixie Pop as well for my sister. Ordered it from Etsy today. Yeah, you see, the Etsy version of it, they wanted £76 or something postage. I just wasn't going to do that. You know, I got, in the end, the deck and postage for £45, which is like a third of what I'd have paid if I'd bought from Etsy. Sorry, I missed that. Took it down before I read it. I looked for the Pixie Pop and could only see a 40 quid version with a £53 postage. Yeah, Taro Putti, Puoti. That's if you're in Europe or the UK. It took about a week to come, but that wasn't too bad. Is there a blush on the fall? There isn't a blush on the fall. No. It's got a bit of a more red finish, but it's not a blush. It's not that hashed. There's no oh shit squiggle on the Sun card either. Let me get rid of that a second. So again, I can remember it's so yeah. Where did it stop? Trying to remember now. It's in the Roses and Lilies, obviously, because that's the original where the misprint, or not misprint, it was actually drawn in, wasn't it? It's in the Pam A. I have to take them all down. I'll put them back in a little while. It's not in the Pam B. So it's in Roses and Lilies and Pam A. And in case you're wondering what I'm going on about, it would help if I shared it with you, wouldn't it? The oh shit squiggle is next to the second X. There's a squiggly line. Do you see that little squiggle there? Also, I wonder if the Two of Pentacles, when that was corrected, where the line of the lemon escape goes through the garment. And then that's the same in the Pam A, which was released 6 months later. But it is gone by the Pam B. Although the timeline doesn't, that doesn't make sense in terms of the timeline anyway. There is a whole video on that I did, showing all these decks and explaining the timeline of all the Lilies, Roses and Lilies A, B, C, and D. Shame about the borders. Yeah, I mean, it's only on one. The rest are okay. I won't show them all, but it's not bad. Colours are the line work is clear. The colours are nice. I mean, look at the King of Wands. We'll look at the King of Pentacles. That will really show us. But that's really clean, isn't it? Like I said, the cardstock's nice. I would say about 350 GSM. There's another card that's busy usually. Again, look at the line work and colour in there. That's quite a unusual blue. Yeah, so I'll show you the Queen and King of Pentacles. Not bad. I've seen some that you can get now on the high street where that's just so blotchy, but this is all right. As I said, it was a gift from somebody well-meaning, well-intended, and it probably would be one that I wouldn't mind what happened to it. I wouldn't be obviously precious about it. Now, this reminds me, the 1971 Blushing Fool, in terms of the crisp colours, the Page of Cups always sticks out for me in that, and it does here. The pinks and the blues are beautiful. And this is £9. £9. So what? $11, $12. Yeah. I'm happy. And like I say, I would buy this for somebody as a first deck to play around with. Look at, you can see the thickness of it. Again, if you're just coming in, these are the 3D backs. So AE Tarot. What's everybody's thoughts? Gosh, been on an hour already. Time goes so quick doing these lives. Okay. And let's catch up on chats. Pixie Pop is an indie deck, so probably is expensive. Yeah, 20. I keep saying 20. I'm so common. 20. 20. £24, I think I paid, which wasn't bad, you know. That could be cheaper than a mass-produced deck. 53 shipping. Wow. Yeah, well, I showed in the video when I did Pixie Pop, I did a screenshot of the postage from Etsy. It should actually be stored in my Amazon photos. Yeah, stored in my from Etsy, and I just couldn't believe how much. £74.93, and the deck was the £37 pound, but oh, it's too bright. Let me dull it down a bit. Yeah, so 37.48 and £74, nearly £75 postage. Wasn't happening. And then, like I say, through this company in Europe, £24 for the deck and £25 for postage, so £49. So for less than £50. But anyway, what was that? The moon? What? Go back. It just jumped. There we are. The moon card reminds me of a scene from The Exorcist. Hello, Dustin. Nice to see you. How are you doing? I hope you're doing okay. Pam's Vintage Tarot Midnight Shadow edit by My Lucky Cards is beautiful. Yeah, My Lucky Cards are these ones, aren't they? I don't want to grab it because there's bags on top, but are these? Yeah, My Lucky Cards. So I've got this one. This one's really nice. They're just kind of like art cards. Art only, tarot size. They're not in order because I have used it, but they don't have titles, they don't have borders, numbers, or anything. It's just the artwork. They are really nice. And then I've got a vintage. I've got 4 or 5 of their decks. That one doesn't have the oh shit squiggle either, but it does have the line going through the lemniscate. So there's that one, and then there was a vintage one. I'll take these bags down just in case they all fall. Hold on. There's a vintage one by My Lucky Cards. I love the boxes as well that these come in. It's got that burnt effect, but this one was a little bit too dark for me. My favourite of My Lucky Cards decks is this one. I love this one. This is Pam's Delight. Is that the one you're on about? Midnight Shadow. Pam's Delight. Look at the inside of the box. and that's the base. They're really sturdy. They're like wooden boxes. I don't know how they get them this sturdy. So this was there was only 30 decks made. I got number 2. Limited luxury color test edition, first print, deck number 2 of 30. But it is vintage, but it's not as vintage as the vintage, if that makes sense. Pam's vintage. And I first had that as a mini deck. But I really like this one. Look at the Hermit, the colour in that Hermit card. This has been a proper RWS chat today, hasn't it? Yeah, there's lots of purples and pinks, muted tones. Just really lovely. Love the moon. Look at that. So, yeah, I really like this one. I might leave this one out, you know. I might leave this out for a bit. I've missed working with this one. But my lucky card, yeah, brilliant for RWS variations. Let me open the chat again. See where we're up to. I absolutely don't mind saving up for a decent indie deck like this. But the postage, yeah, there's no. And there were some comments about, well, Etsy do this, Etsy do that, and I get it. But charging £75 for postage when it's 25 just doesn't sit right with me. It makes a deck suddenly inaccessible for many people. But the good thing about it was, you know, if that postage had been low, like 25, I would have bought it. But I would have been paying £37 for the deck when I was able to get it in the end for 25. Pixie Pop is edged in black. I'm sold already. It is edged in black, and it's a really nice, you know, when I use, if I edge in black, for coloured edging, I use Winsor & Newton. But if I edge in black, I use Sharpie chisel tip, and it gives that vinyl record effect. And this does exactly the same thing. But they've done it for me. So, yeah, well impressed. I really liked, I don't know if you saw the, what was it called? Happy Halloween tarot that I showed the other day. That edging was really nice in that gunmetal kind of finish. I love the Wise Spirit tarot. There's something about the color palette that I find optimistic. Yeah, so the Radiant Wise Spirit, I think that's up behind that somewhere, was what came after the Dirty Pam. It wasn't called the Dirty Pam. We called it the Dirty Pam. Kelly Bear came up with it in this live. But originally, it was released with this Blood and Custard, Roses and Lilies. But this is the coloration. This is my untrimmed version. I've got a couple of backups for this. But again, beautiful atmospheric tones. Lots of ombre skies. And yeah, I just don't get why they discontinued this, replaced it with it was the Pamela Smith tarot, replaced it with a bog standard, and then rebranded it under Radiant Wise, which were big and glossy, and that version is far more superior, in my opinion. I started my tarot journey with $8.99 standard RWS deck from Amazon. There you are. It's all you need to get you started. Pixie Pop is on sale right now on her Etsy shop, 20% off, $39.99. Still more than what I paid. Go to Taro Putti. I mean, if you're in the US, do it. Obviously, that's brilliant. But for overseas, I am thinking of getting a backup in case anything happened to it. Hey, Twigger. Nice to see you. I want the JK Tarot. Yeah, they did such a good job, didn't they? Tarot Collectibles did such a good job with them. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have an original. But if I hadn't got that original, I would have been happy with Tarot Collectibles version. Bye, Exponential. Hello, Beth. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Don't worry. Simon, whenever you show decks on here, those decks get sold out everywhere afterwards. I doubt it. I doubt that. Vintage Moon says, my husband doesn't understand the 50 or so RWS I have, and he thinks they look exactly the same. Some probably do if you've got 50, but I'm with you. I understand. I really understand. Robin did a live earlier, and he had the creator of the RWS RL20 V2 deck, which basically is Rider-Waite Smith, Roses and Lilies, 20, because it was 2020 when it was released, version 2. And it's Robin's favourite RWS version. And he took it off. And of course, when you hear, oh, it's not available at the minute, you're like, well, I want it. Why isn't it available at the moment? But he said if enough people want it, he might pull it back up on Make Playing Cards. Just hate navigating my way through Make Playing Cards. I found the link. I've found the deck, but the link is too long, so it won't post. And you are. Oh, I was going to say, because sometimes if you're not a mod, it doesn't let you post links anyway, but you are. So that's a shame, isn't it? There is a way sometimes that you can shorten links, but it's not easy. I like they are the same but different. Yeah, exactly. Adam says, I like Pixie Pop's warm, cozy, rich colouring, so convince me, Simon. I'll be on it. Let me know if you get it. Let me know. Really love the card backs. Yeah, card backs are really nice. The only thing is, and they've tried to do the font not a standard typeface like the Dirty Pam is. They've tried to do it a little bit in the style of Pixies, but it's not Pixies calligraphy. But if that had been there, I'd have been like, oh yes. Okay. Not sure what people are on about there. Do you know the chat on this? If I scroll, it goes in any direction it wants to, and I'm moving the wheel in the same way. The companies on Alibaba seem to take the same product and then resell with their own brand. Yeah, I found that because there's a couple, like I say, one that if anybody watched Jen Phoenix's Tarot Playdate that she did, she used the same deck for the whole 18 months that she did Tarot Playdate for. That was one of those type decks, and she used the one with the beige back with the circular design, and then there was a darker chocolate brown back. And I do think it's a regurgitation of the same deck in different styles. Oh, you have that same art one too. Oh gosh, go in the right direction. Yes, she did them in bridge size as well. I like that deck without the numbers. Let me try doing it without the wheel. Yeah, that works better. It's obviously my mouse. Recently acquired the Divine Masculine by St. Jinx. Very nice artwork. Yeah, there was an X-rated version as well that I've got. I have all my lucky card decks. Such quality, my favourite Talk RWS decks. I'm glad. The one I have mentioned earlier, full title is Pam's Recolored Tarot, Gilded Shadow Edition. So maybe it's a variation of what you already have, Simon. Is that kind of like a bog standard general release that you'd get on like Amazon, Adam, or is that one that's from an individual creator, like like Conrad Stein does, or other people like that? Simon, do you have any Carol Hertzer? I do. I have 2 Carol Hertzers. I've got the Starlight and the Illuminated. And I asked her, me and Carol went on a bit of a journey, let's put it that way. Because when I first got her deck, I paid a lot. And she was another one that charges a lot for shipping. She just says it's $65. And this was 2018. $65 no matter where you are in the world. But I wanted one so bad that I got it. But when I got it, it was on very flimsy cardstock, very flimsy, and the images seemed blurred. And for what I'd paid, I wasn't impressed. So I did a bit of a video complaining a bit about it, and apparently she got very upset by it. Anyway, over time we spoke, and she then said, I'm now doing the decks on thicker cardstock. So I got them. I got 2, and they are incredible. I do love them. Naomi says one of my favourites is the Dirty Pam. I bought the Elemental North. Oh, did you buy the Elemental North after seeing Simon's review? You got it. It's very unusual, isn't it? I found it and posted. Oh, it doesn't come through. What's this one? I was just looking at Midnight Shadow on Etsy, and the listing went to sold out while we were watching the Hermit's Cave. So it's either a coincidence or we're all shopping while we watch you. That's funny. I mean, it could be, but I doubt. There's 114 people here. Maybe you're all shopping. How many tarot decks are many? That's subjective, isn't it? Who knows? It's whatever you're comfortable with. I think too many is when it becomes uncomfortable for you. It's for nobody else to tell you if it's too many or not. My first decks of the year are turning out to be my favourites now. Love them. Serena by Mr. Freeborg. Desert Illuminations, Tarot and Echoes, Through Time Tarot. Do you have any of these yet, Simon? I don't. I've got all of Mr. Freeborg's other decks, but no, I don't. The only deck that I've bought so far, and I know we're only 18 days in, the only deck I bought so far this year is Pixie Pop. So Pam's Recolored, Gilded Shadow Edition from the individual creator on Etsy. I got it a while ago. I think it came from Bulgaria. Oh, send me a link if you don't mind, either by email or which is in the bio for this, or if you're in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, then you can message me. But send me a link and I'll check it. So want Carol Hertz Illuminated Tarot. It is my favourite. I like the Starlight. They're both up there. I could grab them, really. Not sure if people want to see them, though, because they've been out a while. But I do like the Starlight, but the Illuminated, I think, is her chef's kiss. Cardstock is so important. I agree. Not everybody does, and that's fine, but I really agree. It can make or break a deck for me. 3 Carol Hertz decks in 3 different sizes. I mean, the prices went to ridiculous because you can get them with like fluorescent paint and glitter added, and some that I saw were really beautiful, and then I looked and there were hundreds, and I just thought, I can't do it. Plus, you know, I know that she puts the value on the packaging, which legally she has to, but then you get stung for like £100 customs as well, so you have to factor that on, and the £65 shipping. So I just couldn't do it. But you know, I'm grateful for what I've got. What's this? Yes, but at the same time, it's amazing. I'm into runes and elements. So yes, yeah, you're on about the elemental north, aren't you? I've still got that now. Put it on the bookcase now. Yeah. I've been using the Magic Pantry Tarot from the creator of Numinous Tarot. Oh, wow. Holly says, the only deck I really want is the Bloodlands Oracle. Yeah. Cool deck. Cool artwork. All right. Where are we for time? We're nearly at 20 past. Nearly at 20 past. We've just gone after 20 past. So I will pull a card pull. What deck? Oh, no. We're using tiles, aren't we? We're using tiles. I nearly forgot. And then I'll choose from a deck to put up in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. And then you can all play along and add yours. Do whatever you guys want to do. But the idea as well, because we did 3 years worth of going through the deck one at a time, the idea behind doing a random card pull is to share a little bit about why you like that card. And I know we've fallen into track of just posting a picture, which is fine if that's what you want to do. But it'd be great to hear, this is my favourite, I don't know, 6 of Swords card, and kind of like the reasons why. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So we had the Magician last week. Oh, we've got another major. We have the World card. Let's get that. Is it focusing? Yeah. So this week, our message. For me, the World card is about recognition as well. Recognition for all of the hard work, all of your focus, but also the rewards that go with it. So it's a time to enjoy that success, that when I say about the rewards that go with it, celebrate this week achieving what it is and the recognition that you're finally getting for something that you've worked so hard to achieve, whatever that might be. Because the World card tells us that, we're going to experience that sense of achievement. We're going to feel at one with the world. Everything comes into alignment with the World card. When we get that achievement and the recognition for it, we feel like, yeah, everything's come together. I'm at one with the world. Remember that the World card is also reminding us that whilst we might have achieved what it is that we're setting out to achieve, that actually what comes next, because everything is cyclical. Those tiles look amazing. I love them. Jamie Sawyer tiles. They were expensive. These are the backs, which have this wood stain in. But yeah, and because they're so expensive, I wasn't using them, and I thought, do you know what? We do a card pull every week, so let's start using tiles, and then I can start to use them a bit more and choose from other decks to post. So, recognition for all your hard work. Enjoy the rewards that come with that. And, allow yourself to celebrate, and enjoy the moment, because it's an amazing sense of accomplishment that comes with it. Hey up, Chris. I'm just wrapping up, but good to see you. I love her Sawyer's Lenormand. Cool. I've got the Sawyer's Path Tarot as well, but yeah, and I've just seen Jackie come in as well. I have the Hex Tiles of the Sawyer's Redux Tarot. Brilliant. All right, everyone. It's been fun to hang out. Thank you for everybody that's been here. It's been an RWS special, hasn't it? But sometimes I just don't know the journey the chats will go in, but it's good to go with the flow. I won't be here next Saturday because I'm on a trip, so I will vlog. Going to Derby Jail. I'm going to jail next Saturday, which is one of the most haunted locations in the East Midlands. So I'm going there. And on the Sunday, I'm going to a Mind, Body, Spirit fair as well. So full weekend next weekend. If I end up getting back early, then I might pop on. But if not, I'll see you the week after. And the week after is where I'm going to do the draw as well for the giveaway that is sponsored by Red Feather. When I did my top 10 decks of 2024, this has been donated by them to do a giveaway. So anywhere in the world, I will cover the postage for that. Love your vlogs. Oh, thank you. All right, everyone. Have a fabulous weekend. And until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.